A very warm Mbula Vinaka and welcome to the Global Sustainability Tourism Conference, or better known as GSTC 2025. If this is your first time here in Fiji, Mbula Vinaka, and welcome to our humble abode. If this is your second, third, or fourth, welcome back. It's great to have you back here. Now, we do hope that the next few days would be a fruitful one for everyone, with a lot of information sharing and, of course, knowledge sharing from professionals, peers to peers, and you'll go back with so much to take back to your home country. From us, make as many friends as you can. It's something that we Fijians are very well known for. Now, before we properly begin with the speeches this morning, a few housekeeping reminders for your information. If you don't already know, the washrooms or the convenient rooms are located at the back of this conference room, just by the corridor. Exits are clearly marked around the building, if in case of any emergency. If none of what I've just said makes sense to you, please speak to any of the staff around the area and they will point you to the right direction. Now, without taking much of your time this morning, I'd like to welcome on stage Dr. Kelly Bricker for her address. I'd invite her to take her time. Dr. Kelly is in high spirits this morning.
Nisa Yandra Vinaka. It is indeed a pleasure to serve as Vice Chair of the GSTC, but also to be here in Fiji, which my family considers our second home. Good morning and welcome, and thanks for being here. This is an amazing group. There's been so much learning already, just even through our opening cocktail party. I am sure there's been stories told, as I heard some myself. I'd like to thank the Deputy Prime Minister, who will be with us later today, and the Minister for Tourism and Civil Aviation, Honorable Viliame Namvoka. Thank you for your support. I'd also like to thank our Tourism Deputy Chair, Mrs. Fantasha Lockington. Thank you so much, because without support at these levels, this conference would not be possible. So I'll get started. So we're gathered not simply to discuss tourism, but really to reflect. Are we going? There we go. To reflect on tourism's power and how to shape a better world. But let me ask you, every one of you sitting in this audience today, how do we measure success in tourism? Is it arrival numbers? Economic growth? I'm not seeing anything down here, by the way. Or is it something deeper, like healthy coral reefs, communities that are resilient, cultures that thrive, and not just survive? This is our moment to reimagine tourism, not as an extractive industry, but as a movement that restores. Tourism's back and bigger than ever before. In 2024, we saw nearly 11 trillion in accounting for about 10% of the global GDP. It now supports over 357 million jobs. That's one of 10 of every person on this planet. Mind-blowing. But is it growth alone? Coastal and indigenous communities, especially across the South Pacific, are on the front lines of climate change. Tourism, when unmanaged, can strain ecosystems and deepen inequities. Yet it can also hold the keys to all of our efforts towards resilience. We are seeing some positive destination trends, perhaps a path forward. There's an expanding mandate from DMOs, from marketing to multi-dimensional stewardship. According to Destinations International 2025 Future Study, 84% of destination organizations now play an active role in destination development, not just marketing. Their responsibilities have expanded into community engagement, advocacy, product development, and sustainable policy making. This involves metrics that are well beyond visitor numbers. For example, resident sentiment, community benefits, environmental sustainability, and equitable growth are emerging as key KPIs. Another trend we're seeing is community-centered, holistic collaboration. GSTC defines destination stewardship as a collaborative, multi-stakeholder approach to preserve a destination's cultural, environmental, economic, and aesthetic integrity. And DMOs are increasingly forming public-private community partnerships with destination managers, conservation groups, residents, indigenous voices to govern and co-govern tourism planning. And last one I'll kind of share at this point in time is immersive storytelling and transformational experiences. DMOs today are shifting from a typical visitor campaign to emotion-first storytelling, aiming for transformative travel that resonates deeply with both tourists and local communities. This aligns with the rise of transformational travel movement we've seen over this past year, where tourists are seeking growth, connection, deeper meaning through authentic cultural exchange. When considering the transformational trends within all destinations, what would the world look like if we all turned our industry strength into global reach? Our economic might, our emotional resonance, and all of it into a force for regeneration. Across the South Pacific, we're seeing bold leadership. In Fiji, Rivers Fiji, have to mention it, co-managed with indigenous landowners, supports conservation while upholding customary rights. Samoa is cutting plastic waste and restoring coastal ecosystems through SPREP-led projects. And in the Cook Islands, a new destination stewardship advisory group unites both community voices, tourism operators, and government in shaping sustainable tourism. Now, beyond the Pacific and in many countries and contexts, we are seeing innovation go to work, supporting the Sustainable Development Goals with policies that support new ways of utilizing the positive strengths of tourism. In Zanzibar, 50% of revenues go back into the community to fund schools, clinics, and forests. In Big Bay, Michigan, a remote Upper Peninsula community in North America, a destination stewardship council now guides tourism to balance ecology, seasonality, and cultural heritage. Local leaders, artists, and resource managers co-create place-based experiences. We're also seeing innovation in tourism in urban contexts. Los Angeles tourism is transitioning from a marketing bureau to a destination stewardship organization. Guided by Destination Next, they rewrote their bylaws, implemented equity-focused apprenticeships, and uplifted diverse-owned businesses, all while aligning with the SDGs. We now have tools, we have frameworks, we have resources, we have knowledge to greatly improve our industry. Fiji, Palau, Samoa, Micronesia are using capital accounting, the SIA framework, to integrate ecosystems into national planning. These data-informed strategies improve efficiency, protect biodiversity, and enable green growth. For those seeking a roadmap to begin or accelerate their journey, the GSTC Destination Stewardship Starter Kit is a vital resource. It offers practical steps to initiate a stewardship approach, build your team, engage with stakeholders, set goals, measure progress, and align with the GSTC standards. And it's for all of us, destination managers, educators, policymakers, and much more. We who believe in inclusive, adaptive, and positively impactful tourism. Since 2007, the GST standards have become the global baseline for sustainable tourism. More than a checklist, they are co-created through wide-ranging consultation with Indigenous leaders, community advocates, researchers, and of course, tourism professionals. As we gather here in Fiji at this conference, we're not just celebrating progress, we are tackling difficult questions, such as how does tourism impact biodiversity? Whose voices will lead these discussions? What's at stake if we do nothing? And we are offering solutions, from regenerative visitor management to inclusive finance and climate-resilient infrastructure. Destinations like Palau and the Cook Islands use the GSTC framework not for optics, but to make a true impact. So, I return to a question. What motivates us? Is it a child seeing a sea turtle in the wild for the first time? A village elder, perhaps, whose wisdom shapes travel and the community experience? Or simply knowing we helped protect a little rainforest on a little river in the middle of the South Pacific? What kind of legacy will we all leave? As a mega trillion-dollar industry, the question is not whether we grow, it's how we grow. Let us choose growth that regenerates, policies that empower, partnerships that heal ecosystems and uplift our communities. The SDGs are not someone else's responsibility. They belong to all of us. As we move forward in this special moment in 2025, in this beautiful location with beautiful people, we anchor the dialogue on three themes of this year's conference: coastal and inland tourism, or building resilience in these fragile places, community, I'm a little ahead of myself, community, culture, and responsible development, putting people at the fore, climate resilience and sustainable recovery, considering adaptation and regeneration in everything we do. These themes will guide our conversations and hopefully our collective actions. So in closing, I ask, as destination leaders, how will you embed long-term stewardship into your tourism strategy? As operators, how will you and your supply chain uplift local entrepreneurs? As conservationists, how might you work to support culture and livelihoods? As policymakers, where you can embed the GSTC-aligned criteria into national plans, will you? As hoteliers, how can your properties model climate resilience and cultural respect? As community members, how will your values shape the visitor experience? And as educators, how can we prepare the next generation of tourism professionals to lead with integrity, systems thinking, and a commitment to sustainability? Friends, colleagues, all of whom are respected leaders in this tourism and related fields and professions, this is our moment. The expertise in this room is extraordinary. Let us not just leave with ideas, but with commitments to one another and to our communities. to each other as an industry, to the planet, and of course, to the people and places we serve daily. Vinaka Vakalevu, and enjoy your time here in Fiji. Vinaka.
Vinaka Vakalevu, Dr. Kelly, Vinaka for that heart-wrenching remarks. And yes, I agree, it is our time. Now, ladies and gentlemen, our next speaker for this morning, she's a familiar face within our Fijian tourism industry. Please join me in welcoming the Deputy Chairman of Tourism Fiji Board, Ms. Fantasha Lockington, for her address.
Before I begin, and because I was expecting the Deputy Prime Minister and the Minister for Tourism and Civil Aviation to speak ahead of me, it falls to me to acknowledge and thank the landowners of the land that we meet on today, and in fact to thank them for their wisdom, because they were one of many firsts in recognizing the importance of where tourism was going to take Fiji. To the GSTC CEO, Mr. Randy Durbin, Vice Chair Dr. Kelly Brickett, it was wonderful to meet you for the first time this morning. I am a huge fan. Distinguished guests, industry partners, and community leaders, Dolvina, Bula, and good morning. It is my honor to welcome you to Fiji and the Pacific for the Global Sustainable Tourism Conference, which we're recognizing is a true milestone for our region and enormously pivotal for the moment right here in Fiji for tourism. We are proud to host this global gathering for the very first time, which is bringing over 300 delegates together, not just to talk sustainability, but to live it. And I hope that you live and experience many of the things that we offer to the world and live with. From government leaders and operators to academics and change makers, your presence reflects a very shared commitment to building a better tourism future. I know many of you are or have been exploring our islands this week, whether through tailored experiences designed to showcase Fiji's very diverse culture, natural beauty, or warm hospitality. But I hope these immersions are proof that Fiji is ready to lead in this sustainability space, because our local communities, and I'm sure many of our family from the other Pacific communities like us, practice the very basic elements of sustainability as part of historically cultural practices. And they do so because these have simply made sense in the natural order of things for many years. Sometimes these are forgotten. Sometimes these have been replaced. As many of our islands reach forward collectively to join the developing world as an aspiration, we often leave behind what our ancestors and our cultures determined were the natural code by which we lived. And so here we are, often learning and relearning what was often second nature to us, but more determined now, I believe, and renewed in our hopes that we have not lost the ability to set things right. This year's themes, island tourism, community-led development, and climate resilience aren't buzzwords here. They are lived realities. And they're shaping conversations already taking place across trainings, symposiums, and even over dinner plates filled with local flavor. Tourism Fiji, as the custodians of taking our destination brand to global markets, is walking the talk, introducing electric vehicles, launching our net zero office, and working with partners to scale up sustainable transport and bring SMEs and interested communities into tourism's many faceted opportunities. Embedding sustainability across the industry, from infrastructure to activities, to experiences, to events. We're also proud of our Loloma Hour initiative. Loloma, that Itoke word that can mean caring, sympathy, or consideration, is a gentle nudge to remind us to pause, to give back, and to reconnect with our environment. It is proof that sustainability is not just technical, it can be tangible and even emotional. In the Pacific, it is definitely deeply emotional because it is also communal. So over the next few days, I hope you lean in, challenge ideas, share boldly, collaborate deeply. What we build here will ripple far beyond Fiji, into the Pacific, into boardrooms, onto beaches, and permeating every traveler's journey. It has taken us a while to embrace exactly what sustainability means for tourism and for Fiji. You will hear how the Fijian government has accepted what this means for an industry and an economy that relies so heavily on that industry with the launching of the National Sustainability Framework and its plans to take this forward. I believe that this demands that we become bold enough to demand what we want sustainable tourism to look like in the future, a future that is determined by how far we take tourism and what we absolutely don't want or need, how much tourism development is enough, what it must look like, and even where we do not want tourism to be. To paraphrase an old quote, whatever we can do or dream we can, we must begin it. Boldness has genius, power, and magic in it. When we are bold enough to determine what our future must look like, we will indeed be the masters of our own destinies. This week, my hope is that we can honestly discuss how we shape our industries, our businesses, and our economies so that they sustain, empower, and inspire. And that our future generations will be proud of our commitments and our boldness. I hope the warmth of my people make you feel a part of my family. Bula vinaka again, and thank you very much. Vinaka vakalevu.
In Fiji, Loloma means more than love. It also means to care deeply for people and place. That's what Loloma Hour is all about. Spending 1 hour of your holiday giving back to the environment and communities that make Fiji so special. Through 4 pillars: wildlife, community, reef, and coastline, you might plant corals, learn traditional crafts, join a beach cleanup, or support local conservation. Every experience gives back in a way that lasts. Small actions add up to real impact. Find participating Loloma Hour resorts on our website and ask how you can get involved.
Fantasha. Ladies and gentlemen, Loloma Hour, rooted in the Fijian value of Loloma, love and generosity. It invites travelers and locals to take a step back and appreciate what's around us. Whether we're trekking on land, snorkeling underwater, or simply engaging within a community, taking part in Loloma Hour allows you to make a deeper connection with the islands and its people, while supporting Fiji's environment and cultural heritage. To find out more, or if you want to take part in a Loloma Hour activity while you're here in Fiji, simply check with your resorts. They'll have all the information that you need.